But look at this LGD comp. The damage that they are going to have in the late game is unbelievable. Rumble ultimate on top of Yone and Sivir is almost impossible to deal with for LNG if they get to that part of the game.
This is where Hung does have that ability to potentially get to level 6 off the bot scuttle, which won't spawn anytime soon. So this time he's perusing a potential lane gank. They don't know that missing is reset until now, so 1xN does have to respect back up, but he has no idea Hung has been sitting here this entire time. And they're just going to walk it in. 1xN should have to flash, but the flash immediately comes from YCX. So they get the fear over. He gets under the turret. Remember, he took teleport, no defensive summoner, and Hong is going to pick up a pre-level 6 First Blood Nocturne kill. HP LG have to make up their mind if they're going to give or go. And we are slamming the big green button. Here comes Krocko on. The lights get turned out. They're going to go after Hong, but he gets fully forced out of the pin. Now Shaya's left in a 1v1 with Krocko. Bulldog should be fine off to the top side of this fight. LGD are just way too split apart here. Hong is one way. YCX is the other. Shaya's out of the fight. This TP feels like it's a bit too late. They're going to go after Krocko nonetheless. 1xN going to hold on to those chains of corruption. Krocko going to have to flash to get himself out. But
if you do not get that kill, the entire game kind of gets thrown out of balance.
Yeah, credit to LNG for being able to punish this so well. But that TP from Sasa, I just think that's got to come earlier if you're going to look for that play. About 14 minutes, so we've seen one Paranoia and one Grand Starfall. But I think LNG are a bit content with it, like you talked about, just playing for these Dragon timers. LGD rock up to the party. TP advantage is over on the LNG side for now, as Sheer joins with a huge shield. And that TP alone is going to get LNG the second game in a row. They take the first two.
Pace of the game up, and it's exactly what we've got. Got a lot of action going down now on the map. Portal combat happening a little bit in the river here. Hung is making his way. They're looking for this play.
All right, what are we going to... These jungle ultimates. I'm waiting for them to come back out here. There is the support ultimate on YCX. He doesn't have Unbreakable Will, but Tongwan's going to find the Fate Unsealed onto 1xN, and he will go down. Missing gets flashed on by Hung. Krocko does get a good stun. Missing's living for a while, but the Equalizer will help pick up the kill. Hero's Entrance just to get Bulldog out of dodge. When he finds himself flanked, as all of LGD are going to look to collapse here. Krocko flashes over the fat wall to survive, but Bulldog still ends up getting cut down. It's LGD that make the 5-man collapse to break open this game.
Is not so lucky. LGD a comp that scales, but Sasa's caught.
Yeah, that's what we call anticlimactic for the LGD fans. Maybe just everyone's breaking out fights here. Missing is about 10% HP as Dongwan looks to continue to push this lead as such a menace on the side lane.
The Grand Starfall coming in from Krocko. At least they're staying proactive on the map with these plays. Speaking of...
Yep, they're going right after Krocko. The chains of corruption holding people in place for now, but Krocko will still end up falling with no vision. 1xN doesn't have a reliable shot to take to find any of those kills. The global pressure war is being waged and won by LGD handily right now.
I mean,
LNG really committing to stay bunched as 5, so it's really hard for Hung to find a way in. But Tongwan is actually taking it upon himself to just do the Dragon on his own. Krocko has no vision. He can't get into the pit. Tongwan continuing this creative Yone play, and he's looking for a Fate Seal. He gets 1xN to flash away from the charm, does land. Can he get back out before the damage comes across? Yes, but here comes the big Hero's Entrance. Bulldog gets knocked on a shot. Lights go out. They're going after 1xN. He is as good as done. Sasa gonna find that kill. YCX gets himself out of dodge as well. And LNG, they've got no range, and they've got no way to get on top of any of these targets. LGD scatter in all directions and cut down the fight. Grand Starfall is Krocko trying to flank out into Shaya, but they have to commit 2 flashes to find this one shutdown. Still, an overarching win for LGD. 1xN to play out the game from this state. I am shocked to see our AI supercomputer still pitching a 50-50 game. Are we serious?
Super careful. You've got the battle going down on the bot side, but it's the picks that you want to look for if you're LNG. You want to try and get to that side lane with those ultimates. See if they can utilize them here.
Level 15, he just doesn't fear anybody as the lights do go out. Good charm comes out from Missing. 1xN's protected for now. He does land the Chains of Corruption, but they're going to lose Krocko as the Unbreakable Shield does come down. There's the Fate Unsealed under the turret. Tongwan gets himself right back out with the Soul Form, and they take the pick onto Krocko. And LGD smartly just get out of the fight because Baron's free for them now.
I mean, that's it, right? Get them to walk into you, the comp that has full control over this area, and then take the Baron. With no Dragon, this should be, or with no jungler, this should be relatively easy. You're gonna try.
LNG, they're gonna work their way in. There's the Hero's Entrance. Tongwan wants to go after him. Flashes after 1xN. Missing do a good job to cover with the Equalizer on top of the damage on this Yone is enough to get rid of the only damage source left in LNG. Sheer's gonna pull Tongwan out of the pit with an all-out. Should find them trade. But the Baron will be locked down from Hong. The smite to secure it. LNG scattered into the wind, and they found themselves in the exact same spot as this matchup held them in the first time round. Big beefy Yone mid laner on this dragon, and Hong will come around and smite it to even out that Drake count. So LNG for now at least holding somewhat strong. This isn't a very powerful Baron power play through the first about third of it. They're just not budging.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you want to give some sort of silver lining, never mind. Here we go.
Okay, we're going after Krako. I mean, you don't have enough damage to handle him on your own. Even with all these items, he's getting some serious autos down, but there comes the stat grab onto him. Flash for the all-out from Sheer. The style points are there. Shutdown was going to come nonetheless, and that is something. You trade a shutdown for a tier 2 turret. Small win for LNG. Rue is out of the fight for Bulldog. Does get LGD off the Baron for now.
Well played by Bulldog to be able to dissuade. Here we go. Xiaoya.
After Xiaoya. No, instead it was going after Sasa. The hero's entrance. They can't get the knock-up, though. Sasa's going to flash back under his turret. Missing does go under that said turret as the lights do go out. But Hong doesn't really have a way to ult in. He's going to finally go in. He's spell shooting away from the taunt. Equalizer is going to whiff. Xiaoya has to flash away from Sheer, but now he just gets collapsed on by all of LGD, and yeah, he is not that tanky, so there's the pick down for LGD, and now they can make their dance routine return to the Baron pit.
I mean, the desperation from LNG in that play, there's just no way that you're ever going to be able to kill the Rumble in time to make that worth it. They want to go for it anyways, missing TPs back in to at least be in the area. We've got pings going down. They could look to try and steal this, but it would take an absolute miracle at this point for LNG to be able to get back in, especially with no Grand Starfall available for Krako. Baron will go down, and LGD will get their second of the game. A 7.5k gold lead. And more mistakes coming from LNG. They just can't hold on to this late game that they were hoping to kind of avoid with the draft that they had. And now it will be soul point as well for LGD.
Methodical approach out of LGD again. Showing some really good signs. Oh, 1xN had a shot at the classic Gumayushi, but now he will be punished for it. He gets stunned up on top of the equalizer, and then Hong delayed Paranoia ults on top of him. And with 1xN down, LNG really can't afford to hold any real estate out of the side of their base.
Losing in the late game. They are not reacting well, and LGD, to their credit, have been excellent in the late game here at pulling the trigger. See if they can do so here on the final push.
Got Tongwon off to the side, gets the pick on a Missing. Fate unsealed. Good knockups come across, though. Missing does get himself out. Krako and Bulldog are fine. Tongwon does have to flash away from where he returns to his soul. Sheer nearby, but at least Tongwon has grabbed all of LNG's attention to allow for the mid inhibitor to get knocked down. LGD finally starting to break open the base of LNG and work their way closer and closer to forcing this series the distance. Try and cover, but the damage is putrid. The cannon minion might just get the turret on its own. On the top side, Sheer still can't hold the tier 2 turret that they had to surrender nonetheless. There's the bot lane tier 3 down and the tier 2 to follow.
Yeah, they're just kind of desynced right now on the map, as potentially YCX could be try and play for the objective, but either way, they're likely going to have full control.
Krako, there's no world you think you can get this. I mean, all right, Missing's here, Bulldog's here, but I mean, this is not your jungle anymore. And, yeah, Sasa and YCX will back him out. He smites to secure the red buff. Lights are going to go out. They're going to go after Krako again. Good knockup from YCX. He's going to hold the Unbreakable. YCX is making sure the Bulldog can't rejoin. Missing has himself a lovely flank if it weren't for the fact that his team is dying on the front line. He's desperately trying to walk back. 1xN's going to hit the field goal on the Chains of Corruption, so nobody gets stalls out. Bulldog going to try and Hero's Entrance out, but instead he's stun locked in place. And LGD might not need that Chemtech soul. They're just going to corral the straggling LNG members and point them towards their crumbling base to polish off one of their most dominating wins of the split, to once again claim a victory over LNG, the only team to do so far in Group Nirvana. The question remaining will be, can they do it again to hand LNG their only series loss of the year? Have to find out in that Game 3. But for now, it's just the formalities of knocking down the base if you are LGD. Turrets go down, lights go out, Nexus is out, and we've got ourselves a full slate series for Group Nirvana action.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.